Now the stream's working.
What kind of capture card are you using? Elgato?
I don't know. It's a random one I bought on Amazon.
Oh, okay. What kind of capture card are you using? Elgato? Alright, so let's turn that on. Three.
I mean, I don't plan on making any console content. I don't even really see a Fallout 76 challenge run being possible. I know Fallout 76 speed runs are a thing. But those are also like weird. They're like super RNG dependent. And also like a lot of them like abuse certain glitches that aren't available anymore, so
Wait, so if they're, how are they abusing them if they're not available?
cuz they used to be, now they're not. So like for example, there's one where you like for the I forgot what the speed run was, but you could glitch into this like place you're only supposed to be for a specific quest and then farm this one sentry bot for a bunch of legendaries and get good gear for the speed run. I forgot what the speed run was for. Probably a quest line or something. I don't know. Because
So if
basically,
it's not available anymore, how are like people still using a glitch that's not available
they
anymore?
aren't. That's the thing. We can't do the run
Gotcha.
anymore.
Gotcha. Okay, I thought it was coming off as somehow they've retained the glitch.
Nope. The opposite.
Gotcha.
If
I'm
they can
tracking.
retain the glitch, whatever. But the fact that it's not accessible is. Eh. Also, I mean, I
Yeah.
used to do speed running, but I'm not too into it anymore.
Yeah, that was kind of a. It was very niche. You know, it was kind of a thing for a little bit, like with other games. I think it just kind of fell off.
I don't know. I think speed running's fallen off. I don't personally enjoy it. Like speedrunning takes a lot of skill, but not in like I'm I'm not like the execution type skill. I'm more like the strategy and planning type skill.
Oh, see. Okay, so not even. All right.
I mean, you can
Let's
you can
adjust
even see
this.
that in my like super optimized like type builds. Like I have a reasoning behind everything.
Yeah, yeah.
With 76.
Do a range. This one.
One of my favorite things though was as I was getting started to YouTube, all the people
Mm.
trying to give advice when I'd already surpassed them in both views and subscribers, and I'm just like, dude, if I hadn't figured this out more than you have, I think you'd be the better YouTuber.
Yeah, it's that case of everybody has a opinion, right? And sometimes people like they go into that specific field, right, and they're not necessarily like successful, but they always want to value their input. Like, oh, I've been doing this for 3 years, but and I only got like 10K subscribers, and you come along and you get like 100K subscribers. Like, I mean, what can I tell you? Like you shouldn't tell somebody who's doing better at something, giving them advice. Like it doesn't make sense. But people still do it for some reason.
Well, like my brother was telling me I should stop calling myself a persona challenge runner slash challenge runner, and I should go into more general content. And I was like, that's the opposite of how it works. I'm a small YouTuber. I need to give people a reason to care about me. And the reason to care about me is I do one niche thing. And if they like that niche thing, then they'll stick around. And maybe they'll eventually end up liking me enough that I can do other things. But for now, I've got to stick to my gimmicks, you know?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, you can't like spread yourself out too thin if like nobody knows you. Because why would I want to go and watch your other channel if I don't watch your main channel? That's not doing really well.
Well, not I'm not talking about other channels. I'm talking about with the main channel.
No, no, I know. I'm explaining, in the sense of like if your main channel it hasn't like caught on to people, like how are your other channels gonna really catch on? Like it's a possibility they do because like it's probably something that's entertaining, but if you focus like everybody else, for example, like Mr. Beast, he had one main channel, and that got him like popularity like through the roof, and so like people are gonna follow his other channels because of that main channel. That's typically how it goes. Can it go in a different way? It's possible because like anything is possible. But if we're talking about percentages, yeah, you want to work with the highest percentages and then like branch off. That's my thoughts on something like that. Click on Apple Mark, select System Preferences, right click the monitor you want to set as the main monitor. I mean, it's not even giving me a right click. How old is this? And select main, use as. Is this for? Change default monitor on a Mac. Okay, arrangements. Oh, here we go. Main.
Hail the pizza.
I guess that's main display. Yeah, that's fine. Only the only issue is if I need to use like a webcam. Let me test that out. Here. And this I'm gonna send you a picture so that you have like a little bit of context. I'm trying to figure this stuff out. Lord. Weird. It's okay. Let's test out the webcam, see if I get a clear picture. And
Well, that was interesting. I bought a pizza. I go out there. They're like, "We already bought pizza," and I'm like, "Oh."
Oh, that's what I thought I heard. Something about like pizza. Like pizza arrived. Thanks.
Yeah, I said I owe the pizza here.
All right, let's do video. Okay, that's what I thought it would look like. Um, all right, so if I lift, yeah, if I do a monitor up, uh, just down here. Or bad camera. I guess if I recline back, and I'm viewable. What kind of pizza shit? Like Pizza Hut?
I think so. Yeah, Pizza Hut.
All right. So this is actually pretty good. Like, yes, this would be better if I use my work laptop. I guess not really. So you said you're on the you said you live in San Francisco or like on like the West Coast?
Huh?
Oh,
I live
no,
in
that I think
Minnesota.
that's Jackal. You're what?
Minnesota.
Oh, Minnesota. Gotcha. Oh shit, my sister actually, she used to live in Minnesota for like I think like a year or two, and she ended up moving back to Missouri. But yeah, she did say like Minnesota has like a lot of like outdoorsy stuff you can do.
Yeah.
Damn, I'm torn. Okay, unless I do, I don't know. It makes the most sense to put both the laptops up. So I'm centering it. Torn. That's what I do. This.
Oh my goodness.
Haven't found anything good? My weapon machines will fix that for you. Tear the bad guys a new one, huh?
Cool. Found it. God. Okay.
And I disappear, a ghost amidst the combat, preparing to strike.
What?
Just brother.
Buy a gun
Swear,
already.
way bigger.
Always access to business in the vault hunter. Guns, glorious guns. See you soon. Tear the bad guys a new one, huh? You can always trust the gun at your side.
Bruh.
I'm always
What?
happy to
Really good
help.
sniper in the
Hey
vendor.
y'all, welcome to new and improved kitchen
Can't buy it, not enough money.
10% more storage.
There. Okay.
Guns. I got them. You need them.
lowest level. Or maybe second, I'm not sure.
Hey y'all, welcome to the new and improved Catch a Ride. Now with 47% more than 26%. Let's get you rolling. Why loot the dead when you can buy from me? Always happy to do business with you, Vault Hunter.
Oh, that wind feels good, man. My room was like starting to get overheated with all this shit up. I felt like that wind come through. Mm.
Why loot the dead when you can buy from me?
Oh, nice. Took it out of remediation. Okay, so I can work with that. That's apple. 80, 43 damage.
Lock and load. Carry of time. Always got new stock. Check back later.
Oh my goodness, that is a coach gun. That is worth selling the Herald for. It's like my
Selling
orphan maker for
heroin?
now. My Herald. Unkempt
Sell
Herald.
heroin. Heroin's better. This is now clean.
Yeah, this is like my mini orphan maker.
That sounds terrible, man. Orphan maker, you're breaking up families. That's what that sounds like.
What if
Alright.
I hate
I mean,
families.
you gotta do what you gotta do, though. Yeah.
I hate
Uh,
families.
I know, dude. Families are so toxic.
I am the one who makes orphans. Why did that Savage Lee sound like Salvador? He went,
Just
I
because the
am
essay.
immortal, and it sounded like Salvador.
I am Salvador.
Not bad. He's more, I am immortal. But that's like, he said it in like the exact way that Salvador would too.
So cool. Okay, I got everything ish that. So if I unplug that, it's not gonna really be that. It's 8 cables like this. So, yeah. Of course, I hate how that resets. It's whatever.
Illusion, fools you are. I move for the kill. I missed.
I call
A
this.
Zero's worst nightmare. Missing the big one-shot kill.
This work. Shows a better way to like. Where you go? Okay. All right. We got there. Yes. All right. I think I'm finally situated.
You can always trust the gun at your side.
So heavy.
Orphan Maker Zero
Ah,
about to go crazy with all of his damage stuff. Cause
that
like
sounds.
Zero has a really good build with the Orphan Maker, and having all these like damage stuff like one shot, one kill, killer, headshot, fast hands, ambush. I'm gonna be blitzing through people.
Okay. That works. All this never.
Doing that while seeing Confused cope about this character not being pretty decent is hilarious.
Wait, what?
I was like we're talking Confused about Borderlands stuff, and he was like, "Oh yeah, Zero's the worst character in the game, not the fifth worst." And I was like, "Not true. Krieg is definitely worse because his gimmick isn't even consistent. At least Zero's is." And then I said that he's the second best one life character. He's like, "What? No." And I'm like, "Well, just because you go like if you play patiently, Zero's really good. Just because like you know." When you don't, he's bad. That doesn't mean he's not the second best one life character still.
Yeah, yeah.
His entire gimmick essentially lies around, well, if you play it out perfectly, you have so much damage that you never have to worry about taking damage. And that's a really good.
I guess you have to consider like how much time he's actually invested versus how much time he's probably like reading online versus like, with other people's opinions instead of like actually getting truly informed, and like really going out and playing a specific that specific tune.
Well,
Yeah, people
a
generally do
lot
that.
of confused knowledge of the game just comes from me. And so, besides like the actual characters he's played, most of his takes are just my takes.
Well, if you've ever said then so then how would he come up with a different a different argument as far as
Because he started playing Zero and he got crushed by OP levels.
okay.
Because he had a level
So
80
that just
Zero.
means that just means he hasn't had enough time then to like really like play that tune. Most
Also, yeah,
people typically play like an easier tune, like more overall like well-rounded tune, right? That's easier to kind of like understand before playing more complex tunes.
I'm not even streaming. I
That's
forgot about that.
rip. Oh.
Like, I'm streaming on YouTube, but not here. Yeah, I mean, I did tell him that Zero's really hard, so he's gonna struggle. That's why, like, usually you want to like play him after your full play, like, because usually you have like a full playthrough to adapt to his I've got to aim mentality. But he
Right,
was
yeah.
already at level 80 with the character because then he got modded up.
Yeah, that's my point. You have to start off with like something to like build a foundation on. You can't like build a foundation on like professional sports when you just like started playing a sport. It's like the analogy I like to use. It's too backwards. It's not efficient. Hell yeah. But I got my stuff. All right, now I'm gonna test the Xbox. Okay. All right. Oh shit. It's 60 tall. I don't want to do that, man. I mean, I guess I could put it on the floor. That seems like a terrible idea. Wait a minute. How does air transfer? Let's take a look. It must be pulling. So it must be pulling from underneath, and then also from the back. That might have been the reason why.
Also,
This
another thing
Xbox.
that you do have to consider with my tier list is they're based on how much skill it takes to use them to complete all content. Because that's how I think you should do tier lists. It shouldn't just be who is the best character, like, and whatnot. It should be who is, well, especially for Borderlands, it's more of a who is the easiest to use and can complete everything while doing that. Ooh, Savage League is going up.
Yeah, but you still have to put in the time to like understand the mechanics of the game, and like how the battle systems are, controlling system, all these factors, right? You still have to have that foundation. And then you can start kind of like exploring and making things harder and more challenging. I'll have like more optimal airflow if I put it on the bottom, but it is dusty on the ground. I don't want to do that.
You can never be too well armed. I'll always fight
Uh,
you without
so
needing
let's go flip it to the side. That's how I originally had it though. That should be another airflow. Also, I guess like the one like perk about the Xbox being at like keyboard level is I can always put my hands to the right and feel like the hot air if I ever need to warm up my hands. Right, so I definitely gonna keep that like that. All right. So now we're gonna plug in and test.
You can always trust the gun at your side.
You know
I
what?
still, I still will always find it funny how often people try to compete with me on knowledge of my main games, and it's like, dog, like, I don't know.
It's gonna be true in any like sense. Everybody's gonna always feel like they have the the most amount of knowledge if it's something that they've been playing or familiar with. If that makes sense. You'll find it throughout the course of your life, no matter what it is that you're doing.
Well, it's like, in like nearly almost every game I'm serious about, I'm like the top like 0.1%. And so, like,
Yeah, I mean, if they don't know who you are, you can believe that everybody feels like they have a shot. So I mean, it's just how it is. Like that's how people are.
well, it's like,
But
I feel that way with Confused in 76 so far. Like, it was a little bit with Borderlands, but it was whatever with Borderlands because it's a single player game, and people, like, that's why I've given up on arguing with people about Borderlands 3. Because, first of all, I played the game, but not like a shit ton. And second of all, like, it doesn't even matter. Like, every character is good in that game, so.
right. Yeah. You'll get to a point where your
But it's like,
level is so high that you just know whoever it is that you're talking to is they just don't know enough, so you can't really fault them and correct them, because that's the problem I've had with things that I'm strong knowledge about, is that I always feel like I have to correct them, and at a certain point you're just like, you have more knowledge, more experience. You just know this about yourself. There's really no point in correcting them. You just got to kind of let them say the half truth. Like they're kind of there, but they just don't know the big picture, and you just move on. I mean,
yeah.
that's what I found to work the best, because otherwise you get that back and forth. You're like, dude, you don't know what you're talking about. Like, I've been playing, I've done this like specific thing for like years. Like, you just got to know that you know your shit, and some people just don't know their shit. Hmm.
Well, it's like you can see it with him and his like, oh, why don't you do XYZ instead? And I'm like, dude, I have like your highest level character is a lower level than my three highest level characters.
Right. Yeah. That's just like a prime example of what you knowing where your stats are, how long you put into the game, where he's at. Obviously, it's the amount of knowledge taint is going to differ, and he only knows what he knows, and he thinks that's the best until he puts in more hours like you have, if that makes sense. And
And
then
I'm genuinely okay with 76. I genuinely believe I know everything. Maybe not like the brand new content. Like I didn't even know about the Elder's Guardian. Apparently, it's a cursed submachine gun, which is a normal thing. Those are just only Wendigo Colossus weapons before, and they were like random weapons like shovels and pickaxes. So
uh,
apparently, that's a pretty good submachine gun, but it's also a fucking submachine gun. So I don't know why it's a thing. Anyways, but like when it comes to the content that isn't like within the last like year and a half, I pretty much know it all.
yeah.
And that's not even like me, just that's just like this has been my thing since like I've just I straight up played only Fallout 76 from like 2018 to like 2021. So
Yeah, yeah.
I pretty much only played Borderlands 2 for like 2 years. And so now I'm really good at this too. Like it's just that's just how I am. I play one game a lot, and God, do people love to debate that game a lot.
No, absolutely, man. It is what it is. Yeah, because people are only going to talk about how much they know, and to a certain degree, and because they just haven't really put enough time into it, and so they just reach their pinnacle of the knowledge, and they feel like they've uncovered everything. And yeah, it just happens to be that way. And there's always something new to learn. That's what I've always learned. I'm like, damn, there's way more shit to know about something. Even like the nuances and the very small little details, it can make a huge impact at like a high level. It's just like anybody at the highest levels of like whatever they do, whether it be sports, doctors, like physicists, you have to go back to like looking at the finer details to like maybe something will change, and then it just opens up this whole world of possibilities now.
I mean, the reason why I quit 76 was because I was like, yeah, I've hit the peak.
Guns. I got that.
The
Yeah, well, I
game.
mean, like, not saying, like when your
I've
rank
like
is like 1,000 and something, like, yeah, it's fair to say that there's probably not much more to uncover, and if there is, it's a very small amount, and it's probably not worth your time anymore. But you've
well, it's the
you've
thing is
probably figured out.
I'd spent nearly a year optimizing builds, and this was like just for an idea, that time I spent optimizing builds, some of the best PvPers I knew weren't even making some of the optimizations I was, and nowadays I've seen some builds and they've caught up to me. So the
Hmm.
fact that it took like a year and a half for them to catch up in knowledge is why I can say that even so, because people have now just caught up to me, I've probably learned almost all there is to know.
Yep.
But
Yeah,
it
and I
took
mean,
this
there's
long for
there.
like the average PvPer to start catching up.
Yeah, and there's definitely like an indefinite amount of like progress that can be made into the game, right? Because it's not infinite. Infinite, there's like it just never ends. But with like games, it will end until like there's new content or new like
Yeah,
downloadable
70,
content to be injected.
76 is at the point where if you have the perfect, like, theoretically, in an optimal case scenario, you have like a sentinel assassin acid resist, a sentinel assassin cryo resist of T65 or Strangleheart, depending on whatever you build, most likely Strangleheart. You have your vampires 25 15 pepper shaker, then your anti-armor 25 15 pepper shaker, and then whatever cryo lighter you feel like using. There's a ton of viable ones. You have that, you're done. And a perfect build, of course, which is kind of par for the course. Also, I don't need to be here.
All right, I'm back in the game. Whenever you like later on, is there like a mailing system? Cause I definitely want some freaking ammo.
Yeah, yeah. There's you can craft ammo. I will hold on. First,
No, do it like later on. I'm like, like
well, right
yeah,
now we gotta do your perks.
yeah.
'Cause you haven't done
I'm just
anything
testing
with that.
this now. Yeah, I just want to make sure that my monitor doesn't shut. Like it was like flickering on and off, and I don't know if that was the HDMI cable or if I didn't have enough airflow going into the machine. But I just need to test first, and then yeah,
Level
it'll be
1.
easier. And then I gotta get familiar with these controls because I got a little bit more familiar with the PC. It's just easier because I'm just used to PC
Actually,
layouts.
I think we can start. I think we can get you a pepper shaker. I think you're high enough level for that now, so we can actually
So
begin the proper part of the build.
so these serums are permanent, right? Like they
Yeah,
never
as
go
long as
away.
you have starch genes, which that's why we're pushing to get you level 31, because once you're level 31, starch genes makes your serum set in stone.
Got it.